Today, when I was praying, I was reminded of Peter and Andrew when they were called for God's mission. This is from Matthew chapter 4, verses 18 to 20. As Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon called Peter and his brother Andrew. They were casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. "Come, follow me," Jesus said, "and I will send you out to fish for people." At once they left their nets and followed him. Both Peter and Andrew, they were busy in their lives, but when God called them, they didn't hesitate to let go of their nets and follow Jesus. This, I believe, is a reminder for us that letting go is one important thing in following Jesus. We can stop and think about what are our responses and what keeps us from taking action with Jesus' invitation. Today, I believe Jesus is asking us to cast our nets behind and be fishers of men, to follow Him.
Amen. Good afternoon, everyone, and you are with us this afternoon sa ating regular Sunday program, 4 p.m. sa DZIQ Radio Inquirer, Kakaiba ka. And I'd like to welcome my co-host, my brother here. Nakakatuwa kasi we are pairing up for the first time. And in fact, this is the first time that I have met him in person. So, Brother Marty.
Hi, bro.
Kumusta?
Okay naman, bro. And honestly, nilook forward ko tong episode na to since we're going to be, this is our first time talaga to meet each other here in Kakaiba ka.
Si Marty, nababasa ko lang yung pangalan mo, bro, sa Messenger.
Same.
Now, I have a face to go with the name.
Thank you, bro. Ako din, really happy right now. So, ngayon sabi ko, yes, ma-experience ko yung service ni brother, and I'm really excited for this.
Thank you. Oh, bro, kumusta ka naman? Ano bang pinagkakaabalahan mo, bro? Sa buhay?
Well, I work as an HR professional sa BGC. So, that's what I do.
Okay.
Sa local recruitment. Sa isang bank sa BGC. And right now, I serve, I'm part of a community, Lingkod ng Panginoon. This is an outreach of Ligayan ng Panginoon.
Yes.
Lingkod ng Panginoon is an outreach for single young professionals in different parts, not just in Metro Manila, but also in different parts of the Philippines, and we have other branches abroad.
Good.
So I've been part of Lingkod since 2014.
Okay.
And ayun, bro, kahapon may kapatid kami, may brother and sister from Lingkod BGC na kinasal. So we were there, we attended their wedding.
Talaga?
Yes.
Batiin mo muna sila, bro, tsaka bumati ka sa mga libo-libo mong tagahanga sa lingkod ng Panginoon at ligaya ng Panginoon.
Thank you, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Mauna ka.
Sige, ayan. So, ayan, binabati ko nga po pala, and congrats to our brother and sister from Lingkod BGC who just got married yesterday. Again, congrats to Mr. and Mrs. Villanueva, JR and Raquel Villanueva. Well, we wish you all the best for your marriage. And again, also like to greet the brothers and sisters from Lingkod ng Panginoon BGC branch. We have been together for 4 years now since we are the newest branch here in Lingkod, Mega Manila. Ayan. I'd like to also greet my mom. She's listening. She's watching right now. Sabi ko, ma, watch ka na ng live stream namin sa YouTube. And, she's watching. Hi, ma.
Good,
and also to may pamangkin, Ishi. So, ayun lang naman po.
Pag may nakalimutan ka, bro, later on, pwede mo pang isingit. Ako, pwede rin akong bumati.
Go, bro.
Muna ako. I'd like to greet my wife who is outside the booth. Ayaw po niyang pumasok. I think she has phobia of radio booth. So Teta is out there, but she's listening and praying for us. I'd like to greet my sister who is listening right now in Novaliches, si Agnes. And I'd like to greet my men's and women's group. Marami sila eh. Kilala niyo na ako sino kayo. So my PL and the group that we are leading also. Of course, also members of our district in Ligaya ng Panginoon. North Sector 1D of North Sector 1. Okay. Sige. So bro, Ano bang pag-uusapan natin this afternoon?
Nako bro,
Being the month of February.
ako I'm really excited sa guests natin today. And bro, kung naalala mo last week, no, we have our guest, si Marco at si Kat Flor Cruz. They were our guests yesterday.
Okay.
So Marco and Kat, they're a new couple. They're newly married. I mean, they married last year, so it was just pretty recent. And it was fine. And it was about finding the right partner or your partner.
Okay.
Tama.
So,
And with that, bro, I believe we have a video. We have invited lingkod ng Panginoon's National Director. His name is Mon Samson.
Mon Samson,
Yes.
to talk to us about a little bit about finding the right partner.
That is correct.
So parang segue to of last week's segment or program. No?
Yes. So despite Brother Mon's busy schedule, he was able to find time to
Good.
napaunlakan yung video natin.
Ganun ba?
For
Mon was,
Kakaiba Ka.
Mon was with us this morning lang sa district.
Yes.
So sige. So siguro we can watch the video now.
Yes.
Sige, let's listen to Mon Samson.
Ang tanong, ano ang magandang paraan sa pagpili ng asawa? Let me share to you a few things. Number one, karamihan sa ating mga singles nowadays, ang kanilang preoccupation is finding the right person without exerting much effort to become the right person. So kahit nakita mo na, natagpuan mo na yung iyong right person, it's still not a good match dahil hindi ikaw yung right person. So the first step sa pagpili ng asawa to become the right person first. This is a good time as a single person to grow in character, to become selfless, to learn how to serve, to grow in becoming more decisive, to learn how to plan for your life. Maganda rin na we are actually more capable financially, that we are stable emotionally, and to grow spiritually. As singles, this is the best time to do that. The second thing is many couples today exert all their energies, all their emotions, and even all their resources, their money, on day one, on the wedding day. But they don't prepare for the next 4,600 days if they will be married for the next 40 years. So the most important thing, the very important thing in choosing a wife is to prepare to be married or to prepare for married life, not just for the wedding day. So even before you get married, I think there's a very available program, available tools nowadays to actually prepare us for marriage. Pangatlo, ang paraan ngayon ng karamihan sa ating mga singles, sa mga kabataan, ang unang ginagawa is they express their love first, sometimes or oftentimes physically, and then they learn to love the person. I mean, love based much on their feelings. And then after some time, they learn to get to know the person. The better way actually is to know the person first. Get to know the person, what's important to him or her, how he or she lives her life. So get to know the person as a friend. And then, if you think is the likely person that you'd like to marry, then express that love. I mean, learn to love that person, and then when you get married, then that's the right time to express love physically. So it's the other way around. Get to know the person first, learn to love the person based on commitment, and then express that love physically when you are already married. The fourth that I'd like to recommend is also for you to look into the important areas of other important areas like can you live well with this person? You think you can live the rest of your life with this person in practical ways? Can you work together as a team? Second, can you imagine that person becoming a good father or a good mother? Will that person be a good mother or father of your children. Pangatlo, yung may takot at pagmamahal sa Diyos, nagdadasal. Pag merong concern, pag may problema, humihingi ng tulong sa Panginoon. At yung kanyang pamumuhay, nakikita mo rin na importante sa kanya yung buhay Kristiyano o mahal din niya yung Panginoon. At isinasabuhay niya yung kanyang pananampalataya. At pang-apat na practical tip na maganda din tignan natin marry somebody who's also responsible, reliable, responsible. Hindi naman natin sinasabi kailangan perfect, pero there's a certain amount of reliability that the person is actually responsible. Ang dami pang pwedeng tignan sa buhay ng isang tao, pero ngayon, yan na lang muna.
Amen.
Amen. Yes.
Ang ganda, no? Ang ganda, Marty?
Yes, bro. Actually, grabe yung wisdom behind it, bro. No? Parang appreciate ko talaga siya. As a single young man, sabi ko, it really is a blessing for us to be guided here in the community. So, actually, si brother mo nga po pala ulit, I'd like him to be known or to introduce him as again. He is the National Director of Lingkod ng Panginoon.
And what is Lingkod ng Panginoon?
Yes, Lingkod ng Panginoon is, again, a Catholic movement of single young professionals. Okay. We have branches here in Mega Manila, Visayas, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and branches in Singapore, Abu Dhabi. Also, we have that. And again, si Brother Mon, he oversees the different branches of Lingkod ng Panginoon. And if you remember, bro, our guests from last week, si Marco and si Kat, they've met sa Lingkod ng Panginoon when they were still not married.
Yeah, maraming ganyan, bro. Even I and my wife, we met in Lingkod ng Panginoon.
Wow, grabe.
So I can identify with what Mon said and probably what Marco and Kat went through in preparing for marriage, no?
Yes, yan talaga yun, no?
Yeah.
Sabi ko, but actually listening or hearing your story and hearing Marco and Kat's story from last week, grabe, parang yan yung life na gusto namin ma-apply din in our lives. So, once we discern if we'll be going for marriage, then hopefully, bro, magkausap tayo sometime.
Sige, bro.
No?
Pag-usapan natin on the air.
Sige, bro.
Sige. So, last week, we invited a young couple, no?
Yes.
A couple who just started their married life, no? And who probably took the advice of Mon when they discerned na magpapakasal na kami and prepared for it, no? And this afternoon, we are really privileged, no? Marty, no, brother, to have a couple who, ano yung term ni Adrian? Veterans. No? We have invited a couple from the other end of the spectrum, meaning to say this is a couple from community who have lived the married life for a long time, no? So we are going to get the other side of the story and hear from their wisdom, from their experiences, talk about what Mon said and all of these things, no? So
Tama.
So, bro, without further ado, maybe we should
introduce them,
already introduce our couple, and our couple from this afternoon is from Central Sector of Ligaya ng Panginoon. I'd like all of us to welcome Kuya Badong and Ate Roby Laguda.
Magandang hapon po ulit. Welcome sa Kakaiba Ka. Bro, flex pa lang pala. They've been married for 52 years.
52 years. So, kailangan palakpak pa tayo. More applause.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Magandang hapon ulit.
Good afternoon.
Welcome po. I mean, ngayon po talaga sabi ko, paano kaya nila na-achieve yung ganun katagal? And what are the secrets po? That's one of the many questions that we'll be asking you later po. So, again, baka may gusto po kayong batiin.
Si Padong.
Well, first of all, good afternoon. This is the first time really that we've been invited to this kind of an interview. In all the years that we've been married, this is, I think, the only time that we've been actually interviewed on radio, and it just gives me, a little bit of nervousness, I suppose.
Okay lang po, okay lang po, okay lang po. Baka gusto niyo pong bumate? Or do you want to greet anyone in particular? Baka may nakikinig po sa atin ngayon.
Okay, good afternoon to everyone out there, to our Ligaya ng Panginoon community, especially our district, the Central District E. And thank you also for the invitation for today. Ako rin nanginginig.
Okay lang po.
It's the first time for us to be alive. No, live talaga.
Kwentuhan
Live
lang.
on TV. On TV? Ano ba ito?
Ano po?
I was asking nga, the one who invited us, ano yun, live? Pwede bang taping na lang?
Live streaming po tayo. Live
Okay,
streaming.
thank you. Thank you for the invitation, and we hope we will be able to answer all your questions regarding marriage, and now we have been able to keep the 52 years going.
Wow.
Oo.
Grabe.
Galing ano po. Siguro po the first thing we'd like to know, no? How did you meet each other? And kwentuhan niyo po kami ng
Naku,
konti about
mahaba yata yun.
wag po natin ubusin yung
Iigsian lang natin. Ako na lang.
Sige po, go ahead. Yan.
I think I should start.
O, si Badong
okay,
na lang.
okay.
Ay,
Si
sige.
Kuya Badong.
Yeah.
Sige po.
You know, I've been in banking, private development banking, for more than 50 years. And when I started out, it was because my mother had organized a group in Bacolod City to put up a private development bank. And, you know, to be able to do that, you need to have permission from the government. The government entity involved is the Development Bank of the Philippines, which is an institution that gives a counterpart capital to whatever is raised by the private sector. So we needed to be able to go to the DBP, and we needed to be able to convince them that the group that we were putting up in Bacolod was adequate, and that we had the means to be able to put up a bank. And there is a department in the DBP, which is called the Department of Private Development Banks. And the head of that department at that time, back in 1964, was Mr. Angel de la Paz,
My father.
who was the father of my now wife.
Okay.
So you can
exciting.
imagine, therefore, that initially we had to do a lot of PR. We had to do a lot of, you know, going out and meeting and talking and all that. So in the process, I got to know the father well. And not knowing that the father had several daughters. And so one time when my mother invited him out for a dinner, 3 of those daughters arrived. And that was the first time I met my wife-to-be.
Okay.
Yun.
Yes. Sige po, Ate Ruby. Maybe you can take it from there.
Yeah. Well, from that time on, we invited him to our summer house in Zambales,
I see.
and he accepted the invitation and brought his friends. And that was the start of our communicating with each other. Although he lived in Bacolod, working in Iloilo, so medyo complicated, no? But we would communicate with each other every now and then. He would call. And there was a time in 1966, he visited again us, and from that time on, parang he was really serious in siguro pursuing whatever his intentions were on me. So ganon. And medyo umaba na yung mga long distance calls na ginagawa niya.
Wow.
Para napapamahal na yung gastos ng nanay niya. Kaya nagtanong na, sino ba yung tinatawagan mo dyan? Yon, parang ganon.
So at that time po, you were in...
I was in Manila.
You were in Manila.
Yes,
Si
and
Kuya Badong was
I was in the provinces.
in the
yes.
provinces.
Yeah, that's where I worked.
He was,
Okay.
he
Oh.
was residing in Bacolod
Residing
for
in
the
Bacolod.
weekend, and then for the Monday to Friday, he was in Iloilo.
I see.
Ganon.
Oo, so wala pa
Until-
pong mga information technology no, so you had to call long
Wala.
distance ano.
Yan, ganun na yun yung pag-umpisa ng aming relationship. Long
okay.
distance,
Oo
but it's kind of informal, but we try to get to know each other better.
Okay.
Hindi naman ba kayo nahirapan na kahit hindi kayo nagkikita masyado in person? Or kasi wala pa nga po pala talang video call.
Wala.
Oo, mga ano pa yun, social telegram pa yun.
Telegram.
Yeah.
Yung,
Magastos.
yung every year, ginigreet niya ako ng birthday ko.
Wow.
Naalala ko yun. Pero,
DNT.
actually, I did not think he was really courting me. He was just parang, I was considering him as a friend, which I think is a very good way of
Yeah.
starting a relationship,
Mm,
di
yeah.
ba? As
Oo.
friends.
Yeah.
Not as mag-boyfriend agad.
No, yeah.
Di ba?
Actually, I did not start out right away to court Roby. As she said, I considered her a friend. Okay, so when you're young, the more you meet, the more young people you meet of your own age,
Mhm.
especially girls,
Yes.
the better, right? So,
Correct.
as far as I was concerned, she was just another girl that I had met.
Yes.
But over the years, because this really took up time, while communicating with her in letters, telegrams, and long distance calls, over those years, I began to gather enough
Information.
willpower
Willpower.
to be able to say, this is it. I've made up my mind. So, you see, if I may just backtrack a little. I've studied in Catholic schools since grade school, high school, and college. And when you have catechism and you have religion and later theology classes, one of the things that interested me was the idea of getting married.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just the idea of being married. Because it was pointed out to us that there are other ways of living your life.
Correct.
Not being married
It's an
or
option.
entering the religious life.
It's an option also.
And all of this were commitments. In other words, it was pointed out to me that when you go into becoming a priest, becoming a brother, a sister,
Yeah.
or simply living out a single life, those are commitments.
Yes.
Those are personal commitments that you make. And so that grew in me.
Sige, Kuya Badong.
Wow.
We'll just continue with your exciting discussion about your options.
Patikim pa lang yan, bro.
But we'll take a break and we'll come back
Yes.
with to Kakaiba Ka in a short while.
Thank you po. Grabe.
Simula Enero 2020, Panoorin at pakinggan ng sabayan ng Inquirer 990 sa multiple broadcast platforms. Free TV sa UHF Channel 31, Cable TV sa Sky Channel 72, Destiny Channel 72 at Cable Link Channel 4. Digibox TV nationwide sa Beam TV Mega Manila, Baguio, Naga, Cebu, Iloilo at Davao. Smartphone sa mobile app na Radyo Inquirer. Online at streaming media sa Facebook, YouTube at websites ng radyo.inquirer.net at inquirer.net at sa AM Radio DZIQ 990 kHz. Bagong taon, mas malawak na broadcast, balanseng pagbabalita, walang takot na pamamahayag.
Good afternoon. You're
Yes.
back in Kakaiba and we'll take off from where we left off. No? So, Bro Marty will
Yes.
we'll switch back to Kuya Badong, who was telling us something about
Tama.
his
Kung-
options and maybe discuss a little bit about their marriage.
Yes, yung kanina bro, pinag-usapan natin is yung dating stage o
Yeah.
kung paano sila nagkakilala. Ngayon, I think this is really what we're here for, to learn more, to hear their story regarding their marriage life.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Sige. So, tanungin natin perhaps any one of them
Mhm.
can answer, no? So, siguro when sabi ni Kuya Badong he had options,
Mhm.
no? Marrying was one of them and there were other possible options, but they ended up getting married, no?
Yes.
They ended up getting married. So, when was this po? And tell us what prompted you to get married and how was it when you were starting as a young married couple?
Mhm.
Okay.
Ah,
Sabihin ko muna kung kailan kami nag-decide to get married.
sige po.
Yes.
Go ahead.
We decided to get married on May 6 when he proposed.
May
Diba?
6.
So May 6 is the birthday of my mom, 1967.
Okay.
And we had just come from Subic where my mom celebrated her birthday. And at our doorsteps in the house, doon siya nag-propose.
Wow.
Nakaupo siya sa kilid ko. So parang ganon. So hindi masyadong romantic, Pero, but I think that was a meaningful event for us ni Badong. Kasi, syempre, it was the birthday of my mom. And when he popped up the question, sabi ko, pwede bang bukas muna ako sasagot? Parang ganon.
Bitin po, bitin.
pero syempre, the answer was yes.
Yes. Okay.
So we decided from then on we planned what do you want, what kind of ceremony we would undergo. Syempre Catholic. Both of us came from Catholic schools. And so we decided on September 30 as our 1967 as our wedding day. And we held our wedding reception. Well, first the wedding ceremony in Lourdes Church in Quezon City, which is my parish, and we had our reception at the plaza in Makati. Wala na yun ngayon.
Ano po ba yan?
So that's how we started. Now, what led to our yun na nga, yung communication namin, which I was relating earlier, I decided to get married to him because I saw in him the characters that I wanted for a husband, for my partner in life. Yun yung, he is a God-fearing person.
Okay.
He is a principled person. Kung ano yung sinabi niya, ano yung kinumit niya, tinutuloy niya. Gagawin niya yun. Maski anong bagay. So I saw in him already all those qualities. Hindi ako naghanap ng gwapo, hindi ako naghanap ng mayaman, hindi ako naghanap, yung mga ganon, tipong,
Bonus na lang po yan.
mga ganon, yung you die for the gwapo, whatever. So parang, good looking naman si Badong.
Oo nga po,
diba?
I was
Pero
about to
what
say.
I'm saying is, yung qualities that I was looking for him is not of the physical only, but of the character itself. Yun.
Tama. Binanggit sa video kanina bro ni Bro Mon
Yes,
Samson. Sabi niya, it's important for you to know the person. And I
Correct,
think, and I believe that's
correct.
what they have in their relationship. They
Yes.
know each other very well.
Oo. And how if you don't mind po, how old were you when you got married?
I was going on 24
24.
and he was going on 26.
Oo.
So pinili namin yung month na malapit na sa birthday ko, which is October 2.
Oo. Mm-mm.
And birthday niya, which is November 3.
Oo.
Magkakasunod
So
lang.
malapit na yon
Oo.
sa September.
So,
Ganun.
parang ano po, kasi sabi ni Mon Samson kanina, don't look for the right person, be the right person, no? So that when the right
Yes.
person comes along, you will also be the right person for that person.
Yes.
So ganun po ba yung, I mean, you felt you were already sufficiently mature, had the right frame of mind, were prepared to enter into a marriage relationship at your
Yes.
age 24 and 26.
Yes, I would think so because when I went through college, marami naman ako suitors. Hindi ko naman sasabihin wala, no? So, but knowing all these people who courted me or at least nagpaparinig or whatever, nakikita mo na yan yung character nila.
Yes.
So when he became my friend and then he started courting me na madali lang yung courtship namin actually So I knew already ay siya na. Kasi I felt so at home with him.
Mm-mm. Sabi kasi ni Ate Roby kanina, no, she was really sure about her criteria. No? Alam niya na this is the kind of man I want. Ito yung gusto ko mapangasawa kasi he's the right person for me. Kasi kilala ko na rin yung sarili ko di ba? I'm already sure of myself. I know my values. I know what's important to me. So once I get to meet that person, ito na yun. Kasi alam ko na di ba? So, ang ganda po ng sharing. Si Kuya Badong, kayo po.
I wanted to be able to dwell on that now.
Yes.
Before I popped the question, I had already thought about it. So many months of thinking about it.
Okay. Okay.
Because, as I said earlier, that when you make a commitment, you should be sure about what you're getting into.
Correct.
So I made up my mind first of all that I was going to get married.
Okay.
I did not make up my mind to marry her. I made up my mind first to get married.
Yes.
In other words, I chose the vocation of marriage.
Correct. Important po yun.
That's very important because
Yes.
some people choose to get married because they think that's the right person.
Right.
For me, it was the other way around. Before
Yes.
I looked for the right person,
Yes.
I chose to get married.
Kasi
As a vocation,
Yeah.
I chose it.
correct. That's very important.
Yes.
That's very
So
important.
by the time I popped the question, in my mind it was already clear that I wanted to be married.
Yeah.
It was just a question of whom to,
Yes.
Ah.
It was
whom do you
it's-
get married to,
Correct.
Tama.
and it just so happened that she was there.
That's
And so
very
therefore
good.
I approached her and I asked her.
And then they
Oo.
got married.
Kasi some people have it the other way around.
That's right.
They think na they're prepared to get married because this is the right person for me, no? But they haven't thought through the responsibilities of being
Of
married.
being married.
Tapos
Correct.
nung kasal na, nagkaroon na ng problema, ay, ang hirap pala nito.
Hindi ka na makalabas.
Oo, tapos all of a sudden, yung romance, it fades away kasi ang dami nyo ng problema and all of those things. So,
Oh.
very good point, Kuya
Bro,
Badong.
speaking of problems,
Yeah.
I think most of our newly married couples na nakikinig ngayon, they would be very interested po to know. Meron din po ba mga times or challenges kayo na separate na test yung marriage po ninyo?
I think
Many
so.
times.
Many times.
Many times.
Can-
You know, when you're in a relationship with another person, there will always be an opportunity, an occasion when you will not agree.
Correct.
Because there is no such thing as two people agreeing with each other 100% of the time.
Correct.
And that's the whole point. The whole point of why you are being made to commit. Because knowing that there will be times of disagreement, there will be times when you will get angry with each other, there will be times when you will object to what the other
Others.
person is doing or saying. This is the time precisely when your strength of commitment to the marriage vow is being tested.
So marami pala talagang pagdadaanan, no? Lalo na going 53 years na yung marriage po ninyo this year. Meron po ba kayong specific situation na naaalala na parang ito isa yun sa mga challenges natin na sa marriage, but again, you were able to overcome everything po?
Well, hindi naman challenges for me, hindi challenge siguro. Well, nung 1987, Badong he was 1986 pa lang pala, he was very involved in the political side of the Philippines. So in Negros, you were in Negros at that time. He was president of the bank, but getting involved sa mga politics, so parang nakakatakot, hindi ba? For the bank. Kasi syempre, baka mamaya the regime of the government, of the regime of the time was, baka mamaya patulan yung hindi ba? Kung active siya. But, so parang, for me, it was parang nakakatakot. And then when Cory won, President Cory won, he was asked to serve in the government. And then later on, after a few months, he was asked to run as a congressman in the 1st District. Parang natakot ako kasi for me, we were just a very private family in Negros, doing our social and civil work in the province. He was running a bank and a sugar farm at the same time. So parang quiet naman na life yon, no? I did not want anybody to interfere in our home. Tapos bigla na lang nasa politics siya and he won. So parang naku, nakaka-challenge talaga yon for my personality kasi hindi ko naman type yung maging plastic, no? Mag-plastic ka dyan, appreciating everybody ko, no? Pero yung pala hindi. Mga ganon. For me, it's a challenge to my character. But then, when we went through it, and we went through the campaign and everything, parang kasi sinabi niya sa akin, I asked him, why are you going to run? Sabi kong ganyan. Sabi niya, sabi niya ganyan, I'm going to run because I want to give back to the Lord what is given to us. Parang nagulat ako kasi he is a religious person, yes, but he is not that vocal, yung ganon. So parang it really opened my mind to the fact na, nga, no, the Lord has been gracious to us. Wala pa kami sa community noon. But he is thinking of that. So parang it opened my eyes also, and then I was able to appreciate what his objective was, no? For him to give back to the Lord nga, by working for the people. Kasi the people there in that district, wala silang masyadong nagaganansya from the government. So yun yung kanyang objective, was to give back to the people daw. So yun, it was a challenge, but I think we were able to work it out. He finished his term for 5 years, and that's it. Na overcome.
To what, to what would you attribute yung handling, sabi nga ni Kuya Badong, there's no such thing as a perfect, there will always be disagreements, there will always be different points of view and ways of looking at things, pero looking back, 52 years is a long time, long time, no? Some marriages right now don't even last for a year or 2 years, no? But siguro po, we'd like to learn from the wisdom of a couple who has endured, I'm sure, a lot, but who have been successful in keeping the marriage. Ano po yung, what would you say? What are the factors? What are the things that you like us to learn?
Well, one of them was the fact that we were both determined that the marriage should work.
Opo.
It's important for the couple to be able to personally convince themselves that they have a stake in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the moment you begin to feel that it's not worth it anymore, that's the time the marriage begins to break down.
Yes.
It has to have a personal commitment.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Now, I was telling you earlier that I had been thinking about this already,
Yes.
long before I made the approach
Yes.
to marry her. So that sort of put into my mind already and into my heart that I have to make this work, because I was the one who
Who proposed?
proposed. I mean, if
Tama po.
anything happens later, she can even come back to me and say, why did you even ask me to marry you?
Correct.
You know?
Tama po yan. Tama po
So I had to do a lot of things, and that's where it's important that you yourself are convinced that it is something that you really need to do.
yan. Mm-mm. So in other words po, parang failure is not an option. We will
Yes.
have to work this out,
That's right.
whatever it takes.
That's right.
No?
Yeah.
And kasi po there's a notion right now that some people hold the view that marriage is an institution that is flawed, no? Parang it doesn't work, no? Pero nakakatuwa po yung sinabi ninyo, there's a personal stake in it. We must make it work for ourselves.
Actually,
and for
the
everyone.
institution is not flawed. It's the people in
are-
the institution who are flawed. It's when the people themselves begin to doubt the initial commitment that they made.
Yes.
That is when the flaw begins to come out.
Correct. And then the weakness will begin to show itself, no? And
Sa akin,
That
ang I
actually
think
becomes
one of the tools of a happy marriage is yung communication. No, importante yung communication between the two persons involved in a marriage. Kasi kung kunyari tatahimik lang siya, tatahimik ako, whatever, wala naman, hindi nagkaintindihan. So the problem is not solved.
yes.
So, importante yung at least may isang nagsasalita at nakikinig yung isa. And then
Yes.
hopefully nga it touches the heart and the mind. No?
Talaga.
Importante yun yung communication. Maski galit siya. Sige.
Pinag-uusapan po talaga ninyo.
Pag-usapan, di ba? Or galit ako. Pero, quiet muna ako tapos kakausapin ko na. Yung parang ganon.
yes.
Para at least you temper and quiet down first. And then that's when you talk.
And important, give each other a chance to be able to communicate. Because in many cases, hindi na makasalita yung isa.
Yes.
Isa na lang ang nagsasalita. Yung
Tama,
isa
tama.
nagtahimik na lang. That's the worst part.
Monologue na lang po.
Yeah, because the moment the dialogue is ended,
Yes.
then it begins to crumble.
I agree. Tama bro, no? Kailangan mo talagang pakinggan yung opinion ng bawat isa sa inyo. Kasi yung marriage na meron kayo, syempre hindi siya basta-basta desisyon na ginawa na lang ninyo. Talagang nagpakasal kayo para sa Panginoon. And ang yun po, I'm witnessing po sa inyong dalawa na talagang you have opened yourselves to each other. Di man kayo parawan ng desisyon before, but still you've allowed and you've totally let go po and followed God's mission and God's word for you po. So, thank you for this words.
Siguro
It's very
po,
inspiring for me.
Isa po before we go on a break, no? So at this point po, 52 years, having gone through a lot, and I'm still, marriage is new every day, di ba? There's no day that is the same, no? And siguro po, having raised the kids and all of these things, what keeps the relationship strong even at this point, 52 years, no? What is it, to what would you attribute yung going strong pa rin tayo even 52 years later, 53 years na, almost 53
Yeah.
years.
Gusto ko malaman yan.
Siguro po for us, si Marty is a single man, no? I'm married for less than 20 years. So, matagal pa po. Marami pang bigas na akainin. So, please, share
Take
us.
note ko po Okay lang po ba?
Opo, magda-notes po kami ni Marty.
Notes, Marty, at
Okay.
Sige ba, sige ba.
Well, okay. Number one also is the fact that when we got married, we decided that we would have children. That's important
Mhm.
because if the couple do not even agree that they will have children, then that can be the beginning of problems the moment children arrive.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
So first I had to pop that question that, we will have children and we will raise a family.
Mhm.
And she agreed. So parang walang sabihan later on na, hindi ka nagsabi kasi eh. Ganun. No. From the very beginning, I made clear to you,
Yeah.
I want a family.
Mhm.
Okay. Then later on, when the children arrived, we decided together how to raise them.
Okay.
Because again, you have to make a decision. Your first child arrives, how do you take care of the baby? How do you provide? How do you put up with the time and the attention that is needed so that the baby becomes a child, a young boy,
Mhm.
a grown man later
Mm-mm.
on?
Mm-mm.
All of those things, we have to put in our time, our effort, and our own way of thinking so that the child imbibes that as he grows.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's important. That has to be done consciously.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Pinag-usapan rin namin din yung how to discipline the children. Kasi, siyempre, sabi ko nga sa mga friends ko, wala bang eskwelahan para sa parents, how to
Oo nga.
bring up children. Walang eskwelahan direct, parenting. But I think we learned slowly through the years how to rear them, no? How to discipline them. Medyo nagkamali nga kami nung umpisa, how to discipline them kasi meron siyang ibang thinking, iba rin yung thinking ko. So parang nagpaalam sa akin, hindi ko pinayagan, pumunta sa kanya, nagpayag. So parang ganon. So when we got into that situation, we talked about it right away. Sabi ko, sige, when you are here, ikaw na yan. Yun na yung iyong role as head of the family, no? But when you are out of the house or out of the country, i-delegate mo na sa akin. So parang yun, clear na yun sa amin, our role as father and mother, what we need to do in be able to discipline or rear the children up.
Mm.
Wow.
Ganon.
I'm very impressed bro sa structure ng ng role nila sa family, and yung yung head of the family talaga yung nagde-decide, and when he's out and it will be delegated. I'm just really impressed lang po talaga as to how you handle these things. Meron po ba mga situation na parang you discover traits or parang personality, discover things about each other
About
po?
each other? Syempre, no?
Kahit
So,
10
umpisa pa
years,
lang.
20 years of marriage.
Yeah, sa umpisa pa lang. That's why sabi ko nga, you learn as you go through the years more about your husband. Na, hindi naman nila, di ba best foot forward lang naman sa umpisa, hindi ba?
Yes.
But eventually, hindi na yun natatago through the years.
No, lalabas na talaga.
Lalabas na yon. But yun nga, we have learned to accept each other
Yes.
as an individual.
Apo.
Yun nga, parang nag-decide ka na mag-asawa, so wala ka na magagawa. And you really have to accept them for what they are.
Yes.
Let me give a clear example of that. We came from different backgrounds. She was raised in Manila. I was raised in Iloilo and in Negros. And here we were. That's why one of the first questions I put to her when I proposed, I said, we are going to live in Bacolod.
Mhm.
And therefore, I have to ask you, do you have any objection to that?
Yes.
Knowing that she was raised in Manila.
Yes. Mm-mm.
So she said, no, it's all right with me. I said, are you sure? Because you will be away from your family.
Mm-mm.
Because I will be taking you away from your family here in Manila, where you've been raised, and you have a lot of friends here.
Yes.
I met a lot of her friends along the way. Classmates, gangmates, whatever.
Whatever.
And, I just keep getting names and people that were being told that these were, we were together here, we're together there, we did this, we did that. And I had to listen to that. But I had my own story to tell because I also grew up I got a lot of gang mates and all that. So we had to share those stories. And that's the only way you can get to know each other. Because it's not enough to say, I know you. Do you know all my friends? Do you know all the people I grew up with? Do you know all my teachers, all my classmates? Because those are the people who made me what I am today.
Yes. Siguro po, before we go on the next break, tell us a little bit about the role of your faith.
Excuse me?
The role of your faith
Faith.
in
Yeah.
getting you to this point, 52 years of marriage before mag-break
Yeah.
po tayo.
Yeah. Ako.
Sige po.
Well, I was schooled in a Catholic school, and then up to high school. So sa college, I was being dissuaded by the madre not to go to UP. But I decided to go to UP. Not because of mga kung ano-ano yan. But I wanted the standard
Education.
of UP or the education, yes. So, okay lang. But my faith is very strong. I have an auntie. I have two aunties, one on my mother's side and one on my father's side, who are sisters. St. Paul's at saka St. Teresa's. And so, parang yung influence na yon in the family, my own parents have really brought up well, in practicing the faith. When we got married, talagang we knew that the Lord would be in the center of our lives, our marriage. No, talagang kung yung dalawang person were united as one, nandun sa gitna si Lord. So yung 3 rings na yun.
Yes.
So yun yung very clear to me, and that has kept me going. That has really welded my relationship with Badong as a partner in life.
Sige po.
Okay. Well, you're talking about faith. As I was telling you earlier, I grew up as a student in grade school, high school, studying catechism, religion, and in theology and college. So those things stuck in my mind. And I set out to follow what I could remember of what my teachers were telling me before. Yun na nga, nag-stick sa mind ko is the vocation of marriage. And I was able to delineate that there is a difference between vocations. And that's the reason why people have to undergo a process before they choose the vocation. And this is what I did. I tried to go through the process before I began to seriously court the person that I thought should be my marriage partner.
So, it's really a lot of deliberation. Ano?
That's right.
Okay. Sige po. So, we'll take another break again. It's time for another break, but we'll be back with our guests after the break on Kakaiba Ka.
In these changing times of our lives, anytime, anywhere, we'll always be there by your side, listening and telling a story that truly is worthy to be told and heard across the oceans and seas. We are driven by balanced news, fearless views, in the spirit of fairness and truth. Someone you can trust, who is just when you ask is a must. Cause there is an inquirer, there is an inquirer in all of us. Now hear me saying, whoa, 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 whoa. There is an inquirer, there is an inquirer in all of us.
Okay, it's 5:03 and we are back from our break. Nandito pa rin po kayo sa Kakaiba Ka.
Yes, welcome
So
back.
bro, Marty,
Yes,
ang
bro.
ganda, no? Ang ganda ng, I mean, so very rich,
Tama, tama.
so very practical, but workable at the same time, but rich inputs from our guests about marriage, making it work, and over the long run, di ba bro?
Tama. Lalo na ngayon sa start ng 2020, sa mga may plano dyan magpakasal, it's really a good time to
Tama.
listen to our guests
Oo.
today.
Lalo na ngayon, February pa naman, it's
Yes,
the love month.
Love month.
Oo.
Feb-ibig.
Pag-ibig.
Yes.
At saka siguro tama-tama kasi we can segue into our new segment in Kakaiba Ka. Meron po kaming bagong segment dito sa ating show, no? We call this segment Pope Quotes.
Pope quotes.
Oo, Pope Quotes. Quotes from the Pope. Baka
Yes.
hindi na maintindihan. Sige.
So, ano may Pope quotes Pope quote natin this week?
Oo. Basahin ko, bro?
Yes, bro.
Oo, sige. Our Pope quote for this week is from Pope Francis.
Yes.
And from the encyclical Amoris Laetitia. And he said, remember, love takes work. Love takes work. Tinatrabaho ang pag-ibig, no?
Mhm.
I mean, it's sabi nga ni Kuya Badong kanina, and I really love this, it's a commitment.
Mhm.
Diba? Parang it's a commitment, hindi ito nangyayari ng basta-basta. You need to work at it. No? And you need to be committed and really put your heart into it. Kasi pag hindi mangyayari. It's not an emotion, no?
Tama.
Or it's an emotion but it's fleeting. Siguro after a few months, wala na, di ba? But I mean, to really day in and day out love your spouse, love the person that you said yes to before the Lord. It's a lot of work.
Tama. And I remember, bro, sabi ni Kuya Badong and ni Ate Robbie, in their relationship together as a married couple, in the center is definitely God.
Yes.
And I think that's very important to remember for all of us.
Oo. Ako, bro, just to share, no? I mean, wala pa ako sa kalahati nila, Kuya Badong and Ate Robbie, no? But really, every day you wake up with the consciousness that I must do this for my wife, I must do this for my kid, I must love them. Whatever, kung gumising ako ng maganda, gumising ako ng hindi maganda, it takes work. So, ang ganda, Pope quotes, love takes work.
So hindi pala siya ganun kadali.
Oo, so mga nakikinig sa atin dyan, no? If you're going through something in your marriage right now, I'm sure maraming tao dyan, no? And may pasok ko lang, there's a move to introduce divorce, no? Into our country. We want to remind you, everybody out there who are married, that it's pinasok natin eh. Sabi nga ni Kuya Badong, you chose to get married.
Tama,
no?
tama.
And kailangan gawan natin ng paraan, no? Kasi love takes work. Your marriage is worth fighting for, in other words.
Mahalaga yan. Paglaban natin yung
Kaya
marriage na yan.
oo.
Kasi our marriage or the marriage is very important.
Yeah. Oo. And siguro maganda ring sabihin na yung marriage itself can also be a means for us to gain perfection, salvation, no?
Yes.
No? For those who are married out there, if you're thinking of if you're serious about your faith and really want to get to eternal life, no?
Mhm.
The best way to get to eternal life is to work at your marriage, no?
Tama,
And
tama.
we have examples of people who became saints while being married.
At yung pagiging married, I mean, your marriage is a calling ng Panginoon.
Yes.
So that's one reason alone for us to be able to hold on and fight for it. And
Yes.
love really
Oo,
takes work.
yung parents halimbawa ni Saint Therese of Lisieux who were also canonized, no? They initially sabi nila were not for marriage, but the Lord led them to marriage, no? And it became a means for them to raise a saint
Yes.
in the family and for them to attain sainthood as well, di ba?
Wow.
Parang ang ganda-ganda, di ba? Parang sabihin nyo, honey, gusto ko pareho tayong nasa langit. No? So we will work at it, di ba? I will love you whatever it takes, and ang ganda pakinggan nun, di ba?
Ganda pakinggan, grabe.
Nakaka-inlove.
Nakaka-inspire. Sarap tuloy, ano. Ayun.
Gusto mo na magpakasal, bro? Di ba? No? Sige.
Tama.
Okay.
Ayun. So, by the way pala, no, bro, maiba lang din ako. I just
Sige.
like to greet the people na nanonood sa atin ngayon sa YouTube.
Talaga?
Yes,
Sige,
live
bro.
tayo ngayon sa YouTube with our YouTube page, Inquirer 990 Television. Meron tayo. May nag-comment din dito si Francis Veneracion. He would like to say hello to Leslie Jabulan Bacon from Sorsogon. So, all the way from Sorsogon, meron tayong listener, viewer ngayon sa YouTube. And also, sa ating mga Facebook followers dyan sa Kakaiba Ka. So, please do like our page, Kakaiba Ka. We're there on Facebook and also on YouTube.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, thank you for tuning in to us this
Yes.
afternoon, and we hope that you have been blessed by everything that we have been saying here so far, no? And if you are married, then God bless your marriage. If not, then learn from our guests.
Yes. And, bro, I think it's about time, no? We can ask Kuya Badong and Ate Robbie of the 3 things that they would want to parang share.
Sige.
Ay,
Yun. Oops.
Okay, if there are things that maybe we can keep in mind, if you're planning to get married, 2, if you're already married. Number 1 is marriage is a lifelong commitment, lifelong commitment, and it is a sacrament.
Yes.
That is something that I have always I've never forgotten. It's a sacrament. Number 2, it's important for both husband and wife to have the same vision and the expectations in their marriage. Pagka kasi magkaiba ang vision ng bawat partner ng marriage, there's bound to be either a collision or a parting of ways, because you're not looking at the same target.
Yes.
You're not looking at the same vision. So, mahirap yun. And then, number 3, an important aspect of marriage is the sharing of responsibility
Okay.
between the spouses. It's not, ikaw, gawin mo ito lahat. Ako, gagawin ko ito. Bahala na ba kung mabigat ka ang sa iyo o mabigat ang sa akin. Hindi. It's
Yes.
always looking out for each other.
Correct.
Pag nakita mo na nabibigatan na yung partner mo, magtulong ka naman.
Yes.
And hopefully, in that help that you extend, that sharing of responsibility, that's where the marriage works.
Yes. Love takes work.
totoo nga naman.
Love takes work. And after all, Kuya Badong, di ba? You're no longer, sabi nga, like you said, it's a sacrament, and when 2 people are joined together, they are no longer 2. You are one.
But one, yes.
You are one. So when you help your wife, you are actually helping yourself. and vice versa, no? Kasi there's no longer two, pinagsama na kayo, it's one already. Napakaganda, no? So,
Grabe, ang dami ko talaga natutunan sa sharing, hearing your stories po, Kuya Badong and Ate Robbie. And, bro, baka may last question ka pa. Ako, may iniisip na, ano ba? Pwede pong yung tanong. Parang gusto ko talagang, para masulit agad talaga yung yes nila. Kasi alam ko po talaga sa lingkod ng Panginoon, marami talagang naglo-look forward to hearing stories. Lalo po sa inyo, you're on your 52nd year or going to 53rd year this year sa marriage niyo. So, in behalf siguro po ng mga lingkod ng Panginoon members, meron po ba kayong parang masishare na what's one thing that alam ko po natanong na sa inyo to before, pero do you have other things that you would like to share na pwede naming matutunan na that we can use as a guide pa rin po with lingkod from as a married couple for 50 plus years?
50 pa. Well, yun na nga, it's always, ako, feeling ko talagang communication is very important, no? Tapos, ganito, when there's a difference of opinions between you and your spouse, mahirap, di ba? Pag-aawayan o hindi. I think one has to give way to the other. Especially if it's the husband. Ang husband, kasi he has been, inano siya ni Lord na maging head of the family. He has been elected by the Lord to be the head of the family. So, ang decisions niya, I'm sure has been blessed by the Lord. We may have different opinions, no? But the final decision rests on Him. And when He makes a decision, may responsibility rin siya, di ba? For the decisions that He has made. So, yun. I think, we should trust on His decision. The husband's decision. Kasi parang feeling mo na, ay bakit, ayoko nun, mga ganyan, di ba? Yung usual natin, reaction, hindi ba? Or you will even blame him for the wrong, But I think we should trust him being the head of the family and the husband. And then, he has been appointed by the Lord to head. So, kung ano yung decisions na ginawa niya. And I think he's making a decision. He knows the responsibilities that accompany it, the obligations. So, he will take responsibility for his actions and for his decisions. So, importante yun, I think, in a relationship.
Yes. Tanungin ko po siguro si Kuya Badong, no? You talked about a vision for your marriage, no? So, what was your vision when you started? And can you say that at this point that vision has been fulfilled already, or is there some more work to be done with regard to that? No,
Yeah. Thank you for that question.
Yes.
Yes, there was a vision. The vision was one of being able to love one another, to be able to stay with one another, and hopefully to be able to live a long life with one another.
Yeah.
Now, in the process, as I said, we agreed on this. If children come, then we have the added responsibility of raising those children to become responsible adults. And if I will measure how our marriage has been because of that, I think more or less, I am satisfied that we have done what we have to be able to raise the 4 children that we have, 3 of whom are married, and we have 7 grandchildren. So I think that on that basis, we've been able to work out the original vision that we had when we got married. Hopefully, God will continue to favor us in the long process ahead, I'm still looking forward to a long process.
Another 52 years.
Bro, may text-in question tayo
Oh, sige.
ngayon.
Oh, sige. Ano
So,
yan? That's good.
Kuya Badong, may nagpapatanong po, how do you handle if later on nagbago na po talaga kayo talaga? I mean, if kasi sabi nila as you grow older, you become sensitive daw po. So, how do you handle that pag sensitive na naging sensitive na kayo? So, do you have an advice as to how to handle that situation?
Sensitive
Sensitive to what?
Ang sabi po dito is sabi nila yung emotion po to sensitive to situation, to events, na parang mas madali kayong nagiging mag-react about it or nagiging emotional if I'm not mistaken.
No, I'm sorry. I won't agree with that outlook. What I am today, in terms of my outlook on the marriage and our relationship, our treatment of our children and all that, is really a result of what was my original position when I decided to get married. In other words, I've tried to maintain that vision that I had when I decided to get married.
Wow. Thank you po. Grabe, ngayon po parang natitignan ko na sabi niyo po kanina, no? Talagang bumabalik pa rin po sa sinabi niyo kanina na it is important for both husband and wife to have the same vision and expectations in their marriage. So, yung about sensitivity, hindi siya nag-matter no? Kasi talagang bumabalik siya sa purpose why you decided to get married in the first place.
Yeah.
Kasi malinaw sa kanila yon. That was what they planned for their marriage.
That's why love really takes work.
Love takes work. So, siguro po, Kuya Badong, at Ruby, what is there to, sabi nyo nga, no? There's still a long way to go. Maraming pang, there's so much life ahead, no? So much for the marriage. At this point, what is there to look forward to?
Ako may dadagdag ako
sige po.
kasi not everybody knows what I am in now. Just last year, in July, I was diagnosed with cancer. So parang yung sinasabi natin vision na another 50 years more. Parang, ano kaya yun? Totoo kaya yun? Mangyayari kaya yun? So when that news happened, it was given to me last June. Ang sabi ko naman kay Lord lang, Lord, sabi ko ganyan, just give me that peace that I need at this stage in my life. Kasi I'm happy with our marriage, no? I'm happy with what has been given to me, my children, my apo. Pero sabi ko ganyan, just I'm happy with the ligaya ng Panginoon community. But ang prayer ko lang sa kanya, Lord, just give me the peace that I would like to have. No matter what, o kung ano yung sickness or whatever will happen to me. Basta na I'm at peace with everything. So, ganun. Kaya when I got the news, I underwent chemo and everything, nagugulat sila. Sabi niya, parang wala daw akong sakit. The way they look at me, the way I speak, the way I talk to them, no? Yun hiningi ko naman kay Lord. So I'm really thankful. This is a challenge for me and my family. I'm sure si Badong. But everybody is there to support me. So what can I ask? What more can I ask for? No, diba? So yun yung peace na naibigay sa akin and the support of everybody around me. And even those who are far away in other countries. And when they know about me, my condition, yun na. I'm so happy. I'm blessed.
Thank you for sharing that po, Ate Robby. Thank you so much.
Kayo po, Kuya Badong. Any last thoughts? Before we wrap up, any last thoughts? Any things that you'd like to say?
You did say, what are we looking forward to?
Yes.
Okay. Well, as Robbie mentioned, she's now undergoing treatment. The doctors have given their opinion, and they have said that she has to do this and she do that and all this. Ako naman, I take it under advisement. I'm the husband. I have to live with this person. I made the commitment. So, that's it. I mean, if this is the way she is now, I have to accept it. And I just simply have to reach out and do whatever I can to make it as comfortable, as effective as possible, so that, whatever happens to her health, I will always be around to be able to do something about it. And in the process, looking after my own health, because I can't do anything with her if I am the one falling down. So it's a double purpose.
Yes.
That's it.
So talagang when you said yes to her 52 years ago, you vowed to take her in sickness
And
in
in
health,
health.
for richer or for poorer, up and down till death do us part. No, so I mean, even towards even until now, it's still a commitment on your part
Yes.
to go through life with Ate Ruby, whatever the circumstances are. No?
That's right.
There were good times, and perhaps now there are challenges because of health, but it doesn't change anything kasi I have committed myself.
And this is really what makes life interesting, because you don't really know what's coming around the corner.
Yes.
Tomorrow
Anything can happen.
I might wake up differently.
Mm.
You never know.
Yes.
But you accept what the Lord has given you,
Yes.
and you just pray for His guidance. You just pray that He will always be around.
Yes.
That's what Jesus promised.
And you face it together.
Yes,
You
that's
face
right.
it together.
Yes.
Ang ganda-ganda sinabi ni Ate Ruby na she's at peace. And I think she's at peace not, of course, because of the Lord also, but because of her family. She knows that whatever happens to her health, my husband will be there, my kids and grandchildren will be there, the people who love me will be there because they have committed to me. And yun na nga po. So ang ganda parang kumbaga sa in our parlance ngayon walang iwanan, no? So wala talagang iwanan.
That's
So,
right.
walang iwanan. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you
Maraming
so
salamat
much.
po.
Thank
We
you too.
really like to thank you.
Thank
so
you also.
maraming salamat po to our guest this
Yes.
afternoon.
We wish marami pa tayong time, bro, with
Oo.
Kuya Badong and Ate Roby.
Ate Roby, but we were really blessed, and I think our viewers and listeners were too,
Yes.
for such a rich sharing ng inyong buhay.
I
Maraming
agree.
salamat po.
Thank you po for
Thank
defining
you.
commitment.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
for
much.
everything.
Sige, so
And-
meron ka bang bro?
Yes. Ngayon bro, meron tayo for our I'd just like to share siguro yung events announcements natin for upcoming events with both Pathways
Yeah.
and Ligaya and Lingkod.
Mm-mm. Sige, go ahead.
Yes. So, ngayon bro, meron akong what I have here with me is yung Pathways North Cubao. They would like to invite everyone for a family picnic day. This is next week, Saturday, February 15. Ang venue ay sa UP Lagoon, sa UP Diliman. This is from 8 a.m. till 11 a.m. Ayan. And another one is from the event, The Heart of Parenthood. The Heart of Parenthood. Ang speaker dyan ay si Attorney Bobby Kitain.
Si Bobby. So, saan to bro? Saan to
Wait,
gagawin?
Pathways BGC. Yes, dito po yan sa Pathways. Sa Pathways BGC po yan, February 10. That's this Monday. Bukas. Bukas
nga,
po yan.
bukas na pala to.
7:30 p.m. Third floor sa
Yes.
fully booked.
Fully booked.
Yes, fully
so
booked.
if you're in that area of the city, of the metropolis, we'd like to
Yes.
invite you to talk by our very own, isang host dito sa
Yes.
ating program, Attorney Bobby Kitain, The Heart of Parenthood. This is for all of course, for the married people and those who are parents, no, at the same time. So we hope to see you there also as we talk about the heart of
Sakto.
parents.
Yes.
Meron pa, bro?
And yes, meron din tayo from Pathways North, Quezon City. They will be having a prayer meeting on February 18. Ang venue nila is a Tech Portal Ayala Techno Hub sa Diliman, Quezon City.
Mm-hmm.
And pahabol lang, bro, we have an event sa lingkod ng Panginoon BGC this coming Friday. As we all know, it's February 14. We'd like to invite everyone to join us to celebrate yung Feb 14 sa Avida City Flex, BGC din yan.
Okay. Sige. Okay.
14.
We'd like to close with a closing exhortation, perhaps, no? As we leave our listeners with this, no? So again, we'd like to say that love takes work, no? There's nothing easy in this in marriage, no? Sabi nga nila, ano daw, parang kanin na sinubo na pagka napaso iluluwa mo, no? So it's not easy. It takes work for people to come together in a relationship and make it work. But as our guests have shown, Kuya Badong and Ate Roby, no, it can be done, no? And there's much grace in marriage, no? And if we really work at it, bibiyaan naman tayo ng Panginoon. And the Lord will make it work for all of us. And so our prayer for all of those who are listening to us right now out there in this afternoon is to really seek the Lord. No, if you are going through something in your marriage, don't give up. No, there is always hope. Look at your spouse and see that this is the person you've committed your life to, and tell her na kaya natin to, whatever happens, and get down on your knees as well and really beg the Lord for grace, no? Kasi sabi nga nung couple natin kanina, the Lord should be at the center, and without the Lord, really we cannot do anything, no? So it's time for us to roll up our sleeves, work as a couple, love one another, and love the Lord even more, no? So ayun, so we really wish all married couples out there to have a blessed marriage, no? It's an adventure and a grace, and we can all make it work. And for those who are contemplating marriage, pag-isipan niyo po ng mabuti.
Yes.
No? And ask the Lord, ito ba talaga ang gusto niyong gawin ko, Lord? And ask Him to point you to the right person so that He can make your relationship a witness of God's love to other people, no? Na pwede naman pala. No? Marriage is well worth it. So thank you, and good afternoon to everyone. Okay. So magpapaalam na po tayo.
Yes.
No?
See you next week ulit, no? Same time.
Oo.
So, definitely.
Maraming salamat, bro, Marty. And,
Thank you din, bro Amang.
And I hope to host with you again.
Please, sana ulit.
Okay. So maraming salamat po. This has been Amang Mejia.
And I'm Marty Vargas po.
For Kakaiba Ka. In Kakaiba Ka,
Where change lives.
change lives. Maraming salamat po. Good afternoon to everyone.
God bless. Maraming salamat.